The internet isn't real. We're the directors of our own movies when we post online. We choose what makes the cut for our audience. I'm choosing to bring back authenticity to my highlight reel, and hopefully this inspires others to do the same. From past untold stories, to my opinions today, to candid conversations with your favorite creators, I'm Niki Demar, and it's time to get real. All right, guys, I'm excited to be here. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely been complicated. I'm running this all myself. We've had a lot of technical difficulties. I actually filmed for 20 minutes and realized I was using my laptop microphone, not this microphone, and I literally had a panic attack, started over, and here we are. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with me or if you happen to see this on YouTube and you recognize me and you wanna catch up with me. I don't know who's watching this. So I wanna start with 3 major life updates that I've made in the last couple of years. And that is that I quit the Niki and Gabi channel. I live in my dream city, LA, and I'm in my first queer relationship. And I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years. I feel like a lot of my 20s were about the Niki and Gabi channel. When I was going to college, me and Gabi were doing YouTube. I felt that the best move was to go to a school together and keep filming YouTube videos together. And that's what we did, and it worked.
Sunday, August 25th, I move into college, and so does Niki. If you guys didn't know this yet, we're gonna be both in the same college, same dormitory, except she's gonna be on the 3rd floor, and I'm gonna be on the 2nd floor.
What are your goals and dreams for after college? Well, if you didn't know, I'm double majoring in communications and TV film because I love making and editing videos, and I love the media and speaking and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully I can slip those into my back pockets and have my YouTube channel here and my music here and somehow incorporate all those and live in LA.
And here we are now. We had a successful run, 10 years on the Niki and Gabi channel and almost 10 million subscribers. And even though all that has been amazing and I'm so grateful and I would not be here talking to you if it wasn't for that channel, I do feel like it delayed a lot of our growth mentally. And in a way, walking away from that channel that was so successful, it really was like walking away from a job you've had for 10 years and having to face growing pains and face things and figure your shit out. And I dealt with a lot of that stuff that I never actually talked about on the internet since quitting the Niki and Gabi channel. I've always been super authentic on the Niki and Gabi channel, and even on my solo channel, I've always shared my mental breakdowns.
Niki, like, why do you keep doing this channel if you're obviously not happy? You guys were saying that in 2017, 2018.
But I do feel like after quitting the Niki and Gabi channel, I felt too ashamed to be real because I didn't realize it at the time, but when I was doing the Niki and Gabi channel, that channel was such a crutch for me and something I was so proud to be a part of that I did feel like I could be more vulnerable in other areas of my life because at the end of the day, I had the Niki and Gabi channel. We felt like we couldn't create our own reality because the reality was that we had this channel and we knew we were so lucky and we knew we were grateful and that we should be grateful, but we didn't think it was a possibility to just like not be twins and not film together. So we just stayed running it. Like we were in survival mode running that channel because at the time when we were running the channel, we did not get along. The opposite twin branding was great. And I can see how it was great from a marketing perspective because the pink, the blue, the opposite twins. But what I don't think people were realizing watching is that we really were opposite twins. It wasn't just an aesthetic, it was different lifestyles. I was the homebody. I was the loner. Gabi was the socialite. Gabi was the it girl. And it was very clashy because we were just very different individuals and we had no one telling us when to film, what to film. We were just running it together. So we're opposites, right? Like she has an opposite idea. I have an opposite idea. We have opposite schedules, opposite lifestyles, but we have to come together and produce these videos once a week and make sure there's no fights. That was impossible. That was like setting us up to achieve the impossible because we're just so different. You guys know all the Niki and Gabi beef. You guys, if you're on TikTok, you've probably seen my Exposing the Niki and Gabi channel series. I'm not here to like give you guys the lore that you know from TikTok. I'm here to fill you guys in on something very vulnerable that I finally feel ready to talk about, and that is life since quitting the Niki and Gabi channel, the highs, the lows, the in-betweens, the reality, because we're trying to be real here, okay? There's pros and there's cons I think it's pretty obvious to see the pros if you're coming across my channel or my TikTok. A lot of people see how free I look and how free I'm feeling. People are saying I'm glowing. Obviously, I think there's reasons for that. Obviously, I'm living my authentic best life with my partner, my girlfriend. I'm 100% being myself. I'm living in my dream city with sunshine.
And have my YouTube channel here and my music here and somehow incorporate all those and live in LA.
Quitting the channel was definitely one of the best things I've done for my growth and for my peace and happiness. But it's not going to be easy to get to the other side, you know, and that's why a lot of people stay comfortable and they don't follow what they truly want, because you do have to face some sort of unraveling to get to the other side. And I want to talk about the unraveling and the reality that I hid. So obviously I wasn't happy the entire run of Niki and Gabi. There were times where I was like, oh my God, I can't keep doing this, but I stayed. And the reasons I stayed was because I do think there was a level of respect that I had gained from family, friends, peers, and girl, it fed the ego. If your ego thinks it's protecting you. And the funniest part is if you listen to your ego too much, it will destroy your life. But at the time, I didn't realize what was going on. I just felt like I had no choice to leave and that I had to stay. My ego thought it was protecting me from the scrutiny of others, from other people looking down at me, from feeling like I was a failure, from feeling like I don't know. That channel was something I could easily hide behind. It didn't matter. This is going to sound messed up, but during the peak of Niki and Gabi, there were times where I'm like, I don't care if I'm ugly. I don't care if I gained weight. I don't care if people don't like me. I have this channel. I was so scared of looking like I failed. And that was the first emotion I felt was I'm a failure. I'm not getting emotional now. When we go back to the girl who started that channel, I loved videography. I loved editing. I loved watching YouTubers. And I think most of our peak, I felt imposter syndrome. There's no way that these people are watching for me. They're watching because I'm a twin. They're watching because I'm one of two and we have a cool thing together. I did not think that I could do that on my own. It made me realize how much I was using that channel as a shield. And I stopped sharing with you guys because I didn't have that shield anymore. I was too scared to be that vulnerable and that naked online. Hey guys, I just quit the channel and I feel like a failure right now. I didn't feel like I could say that. Me and Gabi were both so proud of it. We grew up we were the middle kids. We have very smart siblings. Our older sister is very smart. She was in AP classes. She was a part of student council. She had a lot of friends. My little brother, oh my God, he's a genius. He's athletic, D1 wrestling. Now he's pre-med. He's the doctor of the family. Very well-rounded older sister and little brother. And then there was me and Gabi where we were just good at one thing. And that was anything hair, makeup, social media. We were so bored in school. Gabi would doodle her celebrity signature in class. Me and Gabi were so obsessed with pop culture. We were good at what we loved and that was it. And everything else we just weren't good at. So when that channel ended, I had a little bit of an identity crisis because it's I knew I wasn't good at school. I wasn't good at anything else. I was good at what I loved, and I did love that channel. Even though there was a lot of bad sides to it, it really did scratch that itch for me with production. It felt like a production. It didn't feel like we were influencers. It felt like we would go to set and film a TV show. I was Niki, which was the character with blue hair, and I had to play up the edgy vibes, which I always have in there, but I'm not only edgy. I have a lot of aspects to myself, but it felt like I was playing a character. And then Gabi would have to show up in character as Gabi, who was very princessy, luxurious, fancy, and we would roll up to set and our producer would have props that matched my aesthetic and props that matched Gabi's aesthetic. I remember one day we showed up and there was a limo outside and then a luxury custom 3-tier cake for Gabi to decorate with frosting. I think it was 2 different types of girls during fall. And it was just it wasn't reality. It was a heightened reality and we were playing into it. And in a way, like me and Gabby always did love acting, and it felt like we were acting. Obviously, as fun as it was, we started growing up and we started realizing like we're going to start resenting each other if we don't live solo lives. I hit a point when I was in my house, the house era. You guys know how fun that era was. When I was living in my house, I had a realization where I could stay in this house and film Niki and Gabi the rest of my life, or I could sell this house and go see what's out there for me, since I never got to do that because right out of college, I just went into doing YouTube with Gabi. So I had to like really look inward and ask myself, why are we still doing this channel? I think at one point that channel was very authentic to us, but at some point it started feeling like we were cosplaying our younger selves and that we weren't letting ourselves turn into 30-year-olds and experience life and build some character and have some hits, have some misses, have some success on our own, have some fails. We weren't growing. Like growth isn't pretty. Growth is actually pretty ugly. And we weren't letting our lives get ugly. We were just like playing it safe. And, you can play it safe. Like that's very comfortable. But as creatives, I feel like me and Gabi were just losing our spark. We were only like, 26 feeling that way? And 26 is so young. Like there are so many chapters we knew that we had to live. So I got real with myself and I said, I need to sell this house and I need to quit Niki and Gabi. And if I'm quitting Niki and Gabi, I also have to sell this house because I need to figure out what I'm doing for my income, which gets me into my next topic, okay? I touched on this on my TikTok and on Instagram Reels, and a lot of you guys wanted a dedicated video on this. And I never put this on the internet because, again, I felt too naked and vulnerable. But there was a time in 2024, like February 2024, where I almost quit being an influencer and creating content. I had tried being vulnerable about my struggles, and it wasn't perceived well on the internet.
Like all of this, if you don't see where I'm getting at, involves money. Money is that one thing that I've never seen an influencer talk about, which is why it's been so hard to be authentic on my vlog channel. I thought that by talking about some financial struggles that it would make me a failure of an influencer because, a lot of you guys comment, you raised me, and it's like, well, how shitty if someone you used to look up to is dealing with like embarrassing, shameful problems, and like that's why I never wanted to be like real like this on camera. But with all the downtime I've had and all the depressive episodes I've had of laying in bed, I keep coming back to why do I do this and why do I make videos, and that's like outside of the art, outside of the editing, which I do love. The reason I make videos is because I feel like I want to make other people feel understood.
So I stopped being honest about my struggles. But then I noticed, oh no, like without talking about my personal life, I don't think I like making content because I've always loved connecting on the internet. Obviously, I love fashion and aesthetics and all that. But at the time, I was really like starved of connecting with you guys. Hello guys. You may hear some dogs in the background, and that's because I am at my childhood bedroom in my childhood house with my family and my parents and my dogs. Life got so messy after I sold the house. I moved back in with my parents. I didn't even have my own space anymore to film content. I went from being a lifestyle fashion creator to not even having a lifestyle that I wanted to share. I was really embarrassed. I felt like a failure. And I didn't want to air my failure era. I didn't want to put my flop era out there. I wanted to just disappear. I was so embarrassed. So I did start reaching out to people that I've worked with, asking if anyone was hiring. This was February 2024, a month after quitting Niki and Gabi. So I reached out to my music video director who did Alone in My Car, Messy Room, and I said, I know this is random and you're probably not expecting a text like this, but I'm actually looking for a job in LA. I want to move to LA. I want to have my solo era, and I do see myself maybe having a job while I get settled out there because I want to feel like I have purpose. I want to be in production. I'm grieving Niki and Gabi, so I want something to fill that void. And I also want that experience. And I was, I told him I'm soul searching. I want to try having a job. So if you know anyone hiring, please let me know. I'm on the way home from New York Fashion Week. And he says, you know what? Can I call you? There's actually a job I think you'd be perfect for. I did not expect this response.
I think I just got a job.
So he says, I'm doing this show with teen girls where it's kind of like a podcast, but it's shot like really beautifully and aesthetically. And they're going to be talking about topics that people their age don't normally talk about. And we want some help with the social media. And I was like, oh my God, that is so in my ballpark. I got excited right away. Like my body like jumped. And that was the first time I felt that spark since the house drama and quitting Niki and Gabi. I felt excited. I was picturing myself living in LA, and not just living in LA isolated, but living in LA and going to work on a set with young girls wanting to talk about hard topics. Like this is so in my ballpark. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I've never done a job interview before, and I thought it went well and I felt it went well, but I didn't want to give my hopes up. And I'm literally at my parents' house taking a bath, and I get a text saying that it's a go and that they're going to be sending me over a contract. And in that moment, I jumped out of the bathtub, put on a towel, ran downstairs and said, Mom, I got hired. I have a job in LA. And it's not with my face on it. Like it's behind the scenes. And my mom and dad were so proud of me because, like I did go to school for like TV film, and it just felt like I was picking up my life as if I didn't do the Niki and Gabi channel. Like what would be next in my progression of life if Niki and Gabi never happened? I would have graduated with a TV film communications degree, and I would have gotten a TV film job. And I got to help with the thumbnails and help with the branding and be there when they filmed season 1. And I got to make viral moments on their social media accounts. And it was so much fun. But the craziest part is like when I was sitting on that set, as much as I really, really loved being behind the scenes, there was a part of me that was like, you're also supposed to be on camera, Niki. And I'm really glad I had that experience because I did feel very, turned off by social media. I felt like a lot of people weren't agreeing with my life decisions, and a lot of people, didn't like me. I was letting the hate override the good. And I had a point where I was like, you know what? Maybe I should be behind the camera. Maybe they're right. Maybe this is too much for me. Maybe I just piss people off. Like, I don't know. Like, all I know is this isn't good for my mental health, so I'm going to take a step back. My point to this, if you are soul searching and you're thinking of quitting that job that is not making you fulfilled, you don't feel like you're in alignment, but it's providing stability, expect people to look down at you. Expect to feel like you're going backwards. Now looking back, that experience was so important to even getting here. Everything is a part of the process. Sometimes it's literally like this. Sometimes you literally take 3 steps backwards, but then you take a big step forward. And it's like this constant game of going like this, because I don't regret that job. And I feel like if I didn't take that job, I would have never moved to LA. I would have never actually committed and made it work out here. Because I had that job, I was like, I have to move to LA. And I have to move by this date because this is when they start filming. And the irony is like, being on that set made me realize a lot of things about myself that I needed to feel. I got a lot of advice from people at that time. I would ask people about pivoting. At New York Fashion Week, I was getting an outfit tailored, and I was talking about getting another job. And the tailor said, Niki, I went through the same thing. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, I thought I wanted to not be in fashion. I resented it. And I got a coffee job. I was working at a coffee shop. And you know what? It was really good for me at the time, and I really enjoyed it. But when it was all said and done, I realized fashion is my calling, and I quit. And I went back to doing fashion, and I felt like I had a stronger knowing that it was in my purpose, and it got rid of that mean voice in my head. And while I was doing the social media for this show, I found myself wanting to do my own social media. I found the spark coming back again. I started realizing, oh, I don't want to be doing this for other people. I want to do it for me. The last time me and Gabby filmed our Christmas videos for Twinter 2023, we were filming so I could, like, while we were waiting for my house to sell. We were filming. Gabby was a really good sister at that time. It wasn't looking up, and I'm just gonna be real. Like it was very hard times for me, and we were filming together as like a last hurrah until the house sold. And if the house had sold prior to that Christmas, we wouldn't have been filming together. We were filming so I could get out of there. So the second I sold that house, I said, peace. I'm going to LA. No more. When you feel an intuition or you feel a calling, you know, and it'll be loud and it'll be really annoying. It will actually annoy you. You'll get mad at your gut if you're not listening to it. You're going to be like, shut up. Don't be true. Don't be true. Don't be true. But when you like lean into that feeling, it'll get messy and you'll doubt yourself, but then there will be an alignment moment where you'll be like, it all happened for this. It all happened for a reason. If you're leaving something and you're taking a leap of faith, you're not going to know what it looks like. And it's, even though it's scary, it's so exciting. And something my girlfriend told me, which is so wise, my Capricorn girlfriend, be spitting the advice. She said, excitement and anxiety feel the same in your body. It's the same thing. It's cortisol. It's the chemical in your body that is released when there's a bear chasing you or when you're about to go on stage. It's nerve-wracking and so exciting to be figuring your life out. I do feel like I've had a lot of humbling happen to me. I've had a lot of character development. I do think hard times make you funnier. I think my sense of humor has gotten better. Like if you can't laugh at it, then it's too bad. I have developed a level of unseriousness because I threw my hands in the air. I'm just like, all right. I think that I didn't experience struggle in like a way that my friends had. I got a golden egg. I was lucky. You know, a lot of people leave college and they have a hard time getting employed. I was able to drop out of college because I was making more than my degree ever would make me. That's lucky. And it must have been really hard to be friends with me. Like, I don't know if I could be friends with me. Like, at that time, I don't think I was ever a bad person. I just think I didn't have enough life experience to be able to have the empathy that I now have for other people. There's something else I wanted to say. Someone also did tell me when I was going through all that, they told me to picture my life like a movie. And I'm the main character. You're the main character. What would you want to watch that main character do next? That's what you should do. Who are you rooting for in their life? What plot are you rooting for? I feel like I'm at peace with my story finally. I have a girlfriend, as you guys know, and a lot of you guys are asking, do you want to have kids? Do you want to settle down? This is literally a separate episode, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of self-work that I still need to do. And there's a lot of healing that I still need to do. I'm proud of the growth I already have done, but I do feel like I didn't live my 20s the way a lot of people live their 20s, and I'm about to do that in my 30s. I don't know where that's going to lead me by the time it's time to have babies. I don't know. I'm at peace with whatever happens. I'm at peace with my life. At the end of the day, we're all doing our best, and I hope that everything works out and lines up. And I do believe in like listening to your body. Your body will tell you yes or no, the feeling in your stomach. And as long as I keep making decisions today that honor the good feelings, I think I will stay in my path that's meant for me. Like I feel like people ask me now, what is your 5-year plan? What is your 3-year plan? And I'm like, I don't know. And that's okay. Like I don't know is an answer. At the end of the day, we only have right now this present moment. And I'm just going to honor how me right now feels. Obviously, I want to plan for a good future. I want to honor my future self, and I want her to be happy with my decisions. I don't want to go rogue, but at the same time, like I don't have an answer, and that's okay. And for those of you who are so sure of yourselves and you have that plan and you follow it and you're put together, I envy you. I want to be you, but I also I'm okay with me. This is me. I don't, like, at some point, like, I have to stop beating myself up for who I am and just realize this is just who I am. Can I work on things? Totally. But at the end of the day, if you're making your present moment as good as it can be, that's only going to lead to your dream future. There were times where I was literally telling myself, talking myself off a ledge with the Niki and Gabi channel, where I was like, do this for your future self. Do this for your future self. For what? For unhappy future self? Because you're not happy right now. And now I'm doing this. And I'm just doing what feels right for me. Like when I thought of setting up a camera and talking into a microphone, it felt at ease and happy. And right there, I'm like, that's the right move. Obviously, there were many ways I could go about this. I could also have gotten like a podcast studio, but I want this to be personal. I want to feel like we're just catching up and talking about things and getting real. This is just the start. I don't even think I've touched into any ugly, dirty details, which I'm happy to share. I'm definitely an oversharer. Comment down below, like, what do you want to hear me talk about? What have you always wanted to know the reality of? What's happening like on social media? Like, what are things that you want to hear my opinion on? I already have like 8 pages, 9 pages in a notebook of ideas, but I want to hear what you guys want to hear me talk about. I think I am going to wrap this up here. I can't believe I'm wrapping up my first episode. Guys, I've been wanting to do this and we're wrapping it up. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below what you want to see and stay real. Stay real. What do I say? I don't know what to say. Stay real, be real. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in my next episode. There will still be vlogs, but we are going to post these episodes weekly. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Be real.